Hi guys, good evening. My voice is clear, or is there any echo or something? It's clear, right? Okay. So in the last session, what did we discuss? We discussed about URL filtering, okay, and we discussed about SSL decryption policy, okay. And today, what we'll discuss about is we'll discuss about file and malware policy. Okay, this is what we're going to discuss today. So let me open the document. So malware and file policies. In Cisco Firepower, the malware and file policies allow you to do two main tasks. First, through malware and file policies, you can control the flow of files through the network. That means what kind of files you want to allow, what kind of files you don't want to allow. That means we can filter the files based on extension. Like, you know, maybe you don't want anyone in your network to download setup files and all. Okay. So using malware and file policies, we can block a specific file type or a file extension also. And secondly, we can check these files for malware using Cisco AMP. Okay. So what can be done is you can check for malwares also, but that will require integration with the AMP. Okay. Now, in the Cisco FTD, the file control can be based on file type, protocol, or direction. That means you can decide whether you want to allow download and you want to block downloads only or you want to block the upload also. Okay, like specific file types nobody can upload or download. So that is basically the direction. Okay, that if it is uploading or downloading. You can decide the protocol also whether using FTP, HTTP, out, and you can also filter based on specific file type like exe files, bat files, right? So if you want, if you wanted to prevent users from downloading exe file, then this can be achieved with the file policy. And your AMP is going to check the files for malware before passing through the firewall. Okay. Now, how AMP will check it? By creating a SHA-256 hash of the file and then sending it to Cisco AMP service for the verdict. Okay. So basically, what AMP is going to do here, AMP is going to generate, not AMP, but first of all, your FTD is going to generate a hash value that is signature or checksum. And then this signature or checksum, it will send to the AMP. And AMP has a database of malicious signature. Okay. So from there, AMP will give a verdict that, okay, whether this particular file is malicious or not. Does it contain the malware or not? Okay. And based on that, your FTD will take up the action. Okay, so we can use the file policies to detect malicious software using the AMP, and AMP will use the AMP cloud to retrieve the dispositions for possible malware detected in the networks. So AMP will also connect with the, like I said, we have to integrate FTD with the AMP. So AMP is the database, and from there we can decide that, okay, a particular file type is a malware or not. Okay. So in the firepower, we can also perform local malware analysis and file reclassification updates. That means there can be one that is local malware and local malware analysis. Another one is through the AMP cloud. Okay. Now your management interface must have the path to the internet to reach the AMP cloud. That means your FTD or FMC management side, that means your management network should also be connected to the internet to reach the AMP cloud and to perform lookups. Okay. Now, when device will detect an eligible file, it will generate the SHA-256 hash value and then it will query the AMP cloud. Okay. Now, if we want to add this file and malware policy, then we need to enable two licenses. One is threat license and second one is malware license. So these two licenses has to be there. And if you want to integrate with the AMP, then in that case, you should have AMP subscription also. Okay. So you can configure file policies on routes that allow traffic, not on the routes to trust or block the traffic. Okay. That means the file policies we can configure on the routes which are allowing traffic. We cannot configure it on the routes where we are trusting or blocking the traffic. Okay. If our block rule is there, that means it is going to block a specific traffic. So there your file policies are not really useful. Okay. So your file policy can be used to monitor activities for auditing purpose and restrict certain files. That means you can have a look into your network that, okay, what kind of files your employees in the network are downloading, uploading, and then based on that, you can decide a particular file type, whether you want to allow or you do not want to allow based on your organization needs. Okay. So unsafe downloads, they can spread a viruses, malwares, exploit kits, and other dangerous dangers on the network. And they can also make the entire network vulnerable to various type of attack. Because in your network, if one of the system is compromised, then entire internal network is exposed now. Attacker can control that system and use that system to relay attacks on other system and other parts of the network. Okay. So you might not want the users to upload a particular file type to the internet from your network. So like I said, in two ways, we can decide that, okay, we want to allow or not. So if you can decide whether you want to allow or deny uploads of a specific file type or downloads of a specific file type. Okay. So your firepower system enables you to block the download and upload of files based on the file type. And the file policy allows you to detect any file type like media, executable, and whatever the file type is. Okay. Then the FTD can analyze a file for potential malware when the file travels a network. Okay, so malware testing also can be done with the help of FTD. And to empower network with the latest threat intelligence, you can integrate the AMP technology. Okay, so AMP will enable FTD device to analyze file for potential malware and viruses. Okay, now see, these are the options we are going to get in the when we are filtering or we are blocking the malware. So we will have verdicts like, the file is clean, unknown, malware, or unavailable. Okay. So if the AMP is giving a verdict like clean, that means AMP cloud is recognizing this particular file and the file does not contain any value. Unknown means your AMP does not have any information on that particular file type, that whether it's malicious or not. So this also can be a case of zero-day exploit, because it can be a new type of malware which is like not yet recognized. Okay. Then malware. So malware means what? Your AMP is giving a verdict that, okay, this particular file is malicious, unavailable. So that means your system is not able to connect to the AMP cloud. Okay. So these are few of the verdicts. Then this is about AMP. And here there is one example of how to create the file policy rules. Okay. Now here we have options like application protocol, then direction of transfer, then we have action, right? So see what it is. Application protocol means the system can detect and inspect files transmitted via FTP. That means using which protocol your files are being transmitted and using which protocol, like you want to monitor FTP file downloads or HTTP file downloads, okay? Or you want to monitor it for, like SMTP, that means mail services, SMTP, IMAP, POP3. Okay, so through which protocol? Then direction, so that means you are monitoring for downloaded files or uploaded files, right? Then file categories, so we have different file categories here. You can decide like office documents, zip files or archive files, multimedia, executable, PDF files, encoded graphics systems. Okay, different types of file categories. Then we have file rule action. So what is the rule action here? In the rule action, we can have block files. Okay, we can have block malware, malware cloud lookup, and detect file. These are the four actions that you can have under this. Okay. So if you go here, you see here that first is block files. So that means the rule allow you to block specific file type. So you can decide a specific file type, like you don't want to allow PDF download, so it will not allow PDF download. So we can block. And this will block malware. This will allow you to calculate a SHA-256 hash value of the specific file type and then query the AMP cloud. So first of all, if you want to query the AMP cloud, you must have internet connectivity in your management subnet. And along with that, you should also have AMP integration, AMP subscription. Then after malware cloud lookup can be performed. So this allows you to obtain and log disposition of files traversing through your network while still allowing their transmission. That means it is kind of monitoring only. Okay, that we are just monitoring. We are not really blocking. We are just monitoring and we are querying the AMP that whether it is malicious or not. But still we are allowing the transmission. Then we have detect files. So this rule allows you to log detection of specific types of file types to the database. Okay. So in the detect files, we can decide specific file types also. Okay. And we can log the detection of the files that, okay, who is downloading, okay, from where they are downloading, that kind of stuff. And then we have different types of actions like malware cloud lookup and all these things we have discussed. And whenever we are using malware policy, okay, so we have things like Sparrow analysis, dynamic analysis, then we have local malware analysis, right? So if we are performing Sparrow analysis for the MSEXE, that is Microsoft executable file format. So is it capable of blocking files? No, but we can block them if they are a malware. Okay, so this is the option that we are having. Okay, and whether they are capable or not. Okay, so in the detect file policy, they cannot be detected. Malware cloud lookup, yes, you can submit the executable files. Okay, so these are different options. Okay, for these different policies. Then we have dynamic analysis. So again, in the dynamic analysis, what is there? That we cannot block files using the dynamic analysis. Okay, but we can submit them to check for malwares. Same thing is with the capacity handling, local malware analysis. Okay, then if you want to reset the connection, so if somebody is trying to download a specific file, then we can block it. We can reset the connection. Okay, that we can do. And if you want to store the file, so you can store the file for further analysis. Okay, in the FTD itself, you can store the file for further analysis. So these are different actions that we are having here. Okay. Then these are different, these are explanations of all these options, like what is Sparrow analysis, dynamic analysis, capacity handling, local malware analysis, reset connection, and store files. So if you see what is Sparrow analysis, the firepower gets the signature of the executable file and it is going to submit it to the AMP cloud. Okay, so it will generate the hash of the particular file and it will submit to the AMP. Okay, so it will examine on the exe files. So if you are going through the exe file, then you can use the Sparrow analysis. Okay, then local malware analysis. So this uses a local engine to check for malware and unknown file or possible risk warrant further infection. So basically, what happens that this is the local malware analysis in the FTD itself. Okay, that means FTD will also have a database of malicious signature, right? FTD is the next generation firewall, correct? and can perform L7 filtering. So it will have a local database also. So it will inspect using the local database only. Okay. Then after, what is dynamic analysis? So dynamic analysis means it's going to send the files to the app, okay, for further inspection. Then this is for enabling unknown files to be checked and sandboxed with the grid cloud. So dynamic analysis you can perform if you have unknown files. Okay. So these files will be sent to the app, and then it will be checked, like the behavior of the particular files will be checked in the controlled environment. Your FPD comes up with the sandboxing features also, right? So you can integrate with grid cloud, and then there it can be tested in the sandbox environment. Then we have capacity handling. So capacity handling will attempt to store the files for later processing. Okay, if they cannot be sent for dynamic analysis immediately. Okay, so that means sometimes maybe due to congestion or something that you are not able to send it for dynamic analysis right now. So you can use the capacity handling also. So it will store it, and then later on it will forward it to the AMP. Then reset connection. So this will reset the connection on the block malware instead of letting it time out. Okay, that means immediately terminate the connection. You try to download a malicious file, and if your action is reset the connection, so it will immediately drop it. Okay. Then we have store files. So you can see in the store files we have malware, unknown, clean, and custom. So you also have the option to store files for certain dispositions if you wish, such as malware, unknown, clean, and custom. So the file storage feature allows you to capture the selected files detected in the traffic and automatically store a copy of the file temporarily to a device hard drive if installed. Okay. So basically what will happen that later on, if you want to perform any analysis, if you want to do any forensics, so in that case, this stored files will be helpful. Okay. So these are all the different options. Now let me practically show you how you will create a file policy, how you will create an malware policy, and then how you are going to, you can say, uh, block a particular file like. Okay. So that actually, let me access the lab. Yeah, I'll share this PDF tomorrow. Mm, yeah. Bring up all the releases. actually starting up, and then we also check the FMC. And is down, let's pop it down. Sometimes to come up, this is the let's access it. Consider start. directory, and it is also up. So yesterday we were having the URL filtering policy. That policy is perfect. Okay, the URL for filtering policy will not fix it. So now I'm not blocking URLs this time. I will just block certain file types. Okay. So I would say yes, I want to delete this policy. So right now I have only one policy which is allowing all the traffic, right? Okay. Deploy. So once this deployment will complete, then after we will deploy file policy. So unlike your policies, like here we have this pre-filter policy, SSL policy, identity policy. So we don't have here the file policy. Okay, so file policy will not be integrated here. Will be integrated within the rule itself. Okay. And right now, if I show you, let's say this is our inside PCI. Let's take access of this inside PC. So you'll be able to see that right now this guy will be able to download PDF files. Okay. It's policy. Yes, deployed. 50% is done. This is done. So now we'll see that here this guy will be able to download everything. Let's say if I'm downloading any PDF file right now. So let's say google.com, and here let me say CCIE PDF. Okay. Just randomly searching it. So say enterprise infra, let me try to download it. So right now you can see this is the PDF file, and if I say save it, it will get downloaded. And you can see here, this has been downloaded. So this is what PDF file is. You can see dot PDF. So this is a PDF file. Now let's go and create a policy that we want to block PDF files. Okay. So how you do it? You will just go to the policies, and here you will find malware and file policy. Let's go here. Right now there is no policy, new policy, and name it my file policy. Now in this policy, we will create a rule here. So I'll say add rule. Okay. Now it can be any protocol, direction can be whether uploads or downloads, both things I want to block. And here I will say block the file and then reset the connection. Okay. And what kind of files I want to block? I want to block the PDF files. Okay. So I'll say add. So now category PDF files have been blocked. Okay. Then I will say save it. See, here I can use different actions. If I say malware cloud lookup, so for malware lookups, I have this Sparrow analysis, dynamic analysis, capacity handling. Then I have local malware analysis. I can store the files. Same thing you can find for block malware also. Okay. Then if I detect the file, so when I want to detect the files, this is that I want to monitor it. That okay, how many users are downloading now. Okay. Then if I want, I can store the files. But right now, what I want to do is I want to block the files. And I just don't want to block it. I want to reset the connection. Whoever is trying to download, so their connection will be reset. Okay. So this is what I'm willing to do. I'll say save it. So you can see block files with reset, save it. And category we have blocked is PDF files. Now this my file policy has been created. We will integrate this policy with our access control policy. Okay. So we'll go to our access control policy, add it, edit it. Okay. Now you can define the zone. Source is inside, destination is outside. Networks have been decided that inside network can be anything. And inside network is my inside network, which is 10.1.10/24, and destination outside can be anything because I'm visiting internet. Okay. Then I'm not filtering right now any applications or ports. Nothing is filtered here. I just want to allow everything and specific file type I want to block. Okay, so I can go to the inspection. In the inspection, do you see here file policy? So if I click here and I can select here my file policy. Okay, then logging is already enabled and save it. So now with this policy, I have applied one file policy also. You can see here one file policy has been applied. I will save it. Okay, and then let's just deploy it. Click on FTD and deploy. Now the deployment is going on. from the. Now, after this topic, we have just three, four topics left. One is achieve, then we have transparent firewall, and then we have site-to-site VPN, and then we have last concept, which is about flex config. So it will take us 3 to 4 sessions to complete all this. Yeah. Now let's verify it. So let's refresh it, and I'll delete this file from here. You see, this time am I able to download it? Right? My connection has been reset. Any PDF if I will try to download. Okay. Any PDF file I'll try to download. So it will just reset the connection. Okay, if I click here, this website we are not able to access. See here. Now this is CPIRNS 5.1 navigate.pdf. I try to save it. Okay. This one is downloaded. Not resetting the connection. So let it download. Let's try with some other websites. So what I can do is if I'm looking for specific file PDF only, so I can use an operator here, file type PDF. So everything will be PDF one. Okay. Now any website if I try to download PDF, my connection should reset. So here right now, this one I'm not able to access. not able to access. Okay. So some files I'm able to access and download, and some files I'm not able to download. Okay. So this page cannot be displayed. Then okay. This one. Okay. So this one also downloading. So here you say it says couldn't be downloaded. Some files are downloading and some are not downloading. This could be due to the reason that some websites are not getting decrypted also. If I try this, if I say, do you see it says couldn't be downloaded? If I try to retry, so it will block the files. Okay, this is clear. How will you attach? How will you create and attach a file policy? Uh, and so some files are downloading. Okay, some it's blocking, but some files are still getting downloaded. This is clear. So this could be because the database updates. Okay. This really, this really interesting. Access to config, like, right into sources inside to outside. My file policy set, file policy set. only 198 accounts are there. So let's try to block few more types that should help. Site to outside and allow, and here the inspection we are applying my part policy. So here we don't have any. Let's go to the malware and file policy. Okay, and so we block both WAV files. Let's block archive files, executable files, PDF. Okay. Then the graphics, all the images and everything. Multimedia files. Let's say I'm trying to block almost everything. Let's see if we are able to download it. Okay. Direction of transfer can be anything, protocol can be. Save it, save it. Access control. Then we have my SSL policy is applied to decrypt the traffic. And here the file policy is already applied. Save it in the cloud. Actually, the cloud. Okay, deployed. So now we should be able to see it. Let me once verify here. In the malware and file that we do have, okay, we have all the categories and everything. Let's try. So what I'll do is now I'll delete everything from this browser. Delete. To the Google version and everything is getting decrypted. That's fine. Now let me try that. I will try to download everything from URL. Say I'm looking for file type P. Okay. Now let me try to download. Still it's downloading. It says couldn't be downloaded. Right. So here it says cannot be downloaded. Okay. And this info now try to say it. Says couldn't be downloaded. See here cannot be downloaded. What about this here? The page cannot be displayed, so this page has been reset. Let's try some other files. Let's say I'll try to download some zip files this time. PDF, let's say zip. So there is no zip. Okay. Let's say some images. Okay. Say go to system and let me try to check images here. And I'll try to download some images. The connection has been reset here. Now I'm able to open. Now let me try to save this image. Save picture as. Let me try to save it. Save. So this one is saved here. Save picture as. This is also saved. So images are not able to. Few things it will filter, few things it's not filtered. Okay, it will require the database updates. Let's try some exe files. Let's say any this exe. Here if I try to download some new files. So we have due to SSL decryption, we are really not able to open. But I hope you got the idea, right? How we will implement the policy. Please, it's quite visual outcome. Yes, profit from your computer. Download now. Now click on download now. Click for downloading. And you see, the connection has been different. I wasn't able to download it, which cannot be displayed. This page is getting reset. So this way you can configure file policies and you can block specific file types again. Is it clear? Yes or no? Yes, clear, right? All right. So now next part is about your HA concept. So that part will start tomorrow. Okay. So probably this week we will finish up our activity. Okay. Yeah. clear it. Yeah. Okay, guys. See you guys tomorrow then. Have a good night.